Hello, good morning. Good morning. Welcome. This is a Devoted Heart, Lauren. Welcome to the Monday Awareness Upgrade. So, I just changed my topic at the last minute, so let's see how it goes. I mean, it's not my first time sharing about this, but it wasn't what I planned. So, at the last minute, I decided I wanted to talk today about scarcity and changing your narrative around scarcity. So, scarcity in a physical sense exists in the world, right? Like oftentimes there's only so much of something. There's only so many apples in the basket. There's only so many hours in a day, right? Okay. But we also all tend to operate based on scarcity in ways that can be limiting and in ways that can be playing into a narrative that might not be relevant anymore. We can change the narrative, right? So this past week in my Live Your Yoga program, we were talking about the topic of asteya. Asteya is translated as non-stealing, and I also like to translate it as non-taking, right? Because stealing, for most of us, it's a pretty self-explanatory concept. Like, don't take an object, don't take something that's not yours. But when we turn it into talking about not taking, okay, it's much broader, because what can you take? What can you take in addition to physical items? You can take time, you can take energy, and you can also have those things taken from you in a way that you are allowing and perpetuating. So noticing your own boundaries and how you negotiate space, how you negotiate the outer world with regard to your own boundaries and when you let them be broken. So oftentimes when a boundary is crossed, either our own or someone else's, it's because we are stuck in some sort of scarcity mindset, right? So I don't have enough. There won't be enough time. There won't be enough money. There won't be enough love and attention for me unless I take it. Unless I take it without permission and just force it to happen, right? There won't be another person for me if I stay with this current person. There won't be another job for me if I leave this current job. There won't be another opportunity, right? So that's all scarcity mindset. And it's important to acknowledge that these things, they come from very real places, right? So it's not to invalidate anyone's experience because some of us grew up with very real scarcity, right? Some of us are from a background where there wasn't enough of just basic needs to go around. And in the chakra system, the root chakra has to do with our basic needs. So just our food, our shelter, how we're taken care of and made to feel safe in very basic ways. And so if that's not present, then the other energies have trouble aligning themselves in healthy ways. So we do want to acknowledge the very real roots of scarcity that these beliefs come from, that are perpetuated into adulthood, but they might not be relevant anymore. So stuff has been passed down from our families and from our ancestries that we are taking on. So some stuff like food in this society, in the West, there's plenty of food, right? So there might not be plenty of wealth for all people that's evenly distributed in order for us to acquire certain types of foods, whatever, but food is abundant, right? So so I know that for me, myself, I can say that sometimes I operate in a way as if food is not abundant, even though it is. So I'll eat more than I need, or I'll buy more food than I need. Oh, here's a kitty tail. I'll buy more food than I need, and I'll sometimes waste something because I didn't actually need all of that, but I just overstock because I'm like, oh, what if there's not more of this and whatever? And yeah, this is written into the fabric of our being and our DNA in a certain way from times where there wasn't enough food. There wasn't enough of whatever. So that's all fine, and we're acknowledging that, and we'll drop in and kind of breathe into that in a moment. But now, if you can look at your life and look at the opportunities that are available, what might have you been operating in scarcity with regard to that you can change the narrative around? So what if I'm not limited by the beliefs that my parents, my family, my lineage have bestowed upon me? What if I'm not limited by any of that? What if I'm not limited by what I was told about society and my job and my earnings potential and all of that? What if I'm not limited by my current sphere, my current social sphere, my current relationships, but that there are infinite possibilities of connections that I can make, and connections that I can make that will really uplift my spirit and inspire me creatively, and I don't have to stay in any situation that's not supporting me fully. So how can we rewrite the narrative around scarcity, that there is plenty, there is an abundance of, rather than a lack of? And what I've been working with my people, with my students in Live Your Yoga, is that you don't have to fully believe that in your brain, right? You don't have to fully believe it in your brain, because your brain takes a while to catch up. Your brain takes a while to integrate and figure stuff out and sort of convince itself that something is possible. Okay, but we're dropping into the mode of manifestation. So I'm declaring that there's plenty of money available for me. I'm declaring that there's plenty of love available for me. I'm declaring that there's plenty of opportunities of whatever it is that I'm seeking that are available for me if I'm open to finding them. So how can I tune myself to that vibration of abundance rather than always reverting back to the scarcity that I've inherited? The verse for Asteya, I really love. It says, Sarva Ratnopastanam. Sarva is all. Ratna is jewels or wealth. And Upastanam is like it will arrive, it will come. So when I'm established in the practice of non-taking, or in my interpretation, when I am practicing moving away from scarcity mindset and more into abundance and plentiful, precious jewels arrive, wealth arrives. The things that we're making space for things, and then they come and they fill up that space. So let's drop in for a moment, letting the eyes close, if you'd like, if that's appropriate for where you are. And then just noticing where have you felt lack, where have you felt fear of not having enough. And acknowledging the times in your life or the times in your family or your ancestry when perhaps there really was not enough of something. And that mindset of fear and lack can be very much written into our DNA and passed down. And then from this moment moving forward, what are you writing into your DNA? What are you rewriting? What is the new narrative that you're creating around time, around money, around love, around any other ways of being, around opportunities, connection, creativity? What's the narrative that you are writing for yourself, that you are passing down now and you are emanating out into the world? So I'm tuning into plentiful love and connections and understanding. As well as wealth. And so as you breathe, let every cell of your body feel that expansion. Feel the blooming open into abundance mindset, attuning to the mode of plenty, of receiving, giving and receiving rather than needing to take for fear of not having enough. So moving away from taking, moving away from breaking boundaries of others and allowing boundaries to be broken with yourself. I'm going to offer Lotus Mudra as we close. So bringing the palms together, bloom the fingers open. And this gesture of opening to receiving, expanding into abundance. And so whenever something comes up where you're noticing a boundary, you're noticing someone trying to take something from you and maybe you're allowing it, whether it's time or energy or an object, or you taking from someone else. And can we get curious rather than just submitting, rather than being judgmental or unkind? Can we get curious about why those things are happening? What is the narrative that I've been playing into, and how can I rewrite my own narrative? Exhale all the air. Inhale. All right. Thanks so much for tuning in. Any reflections, I would love to hear them. Tomorrow evening, I'm hosting a moon meditation. The new moon in Libra arrived yesterday, but we're going to be meditating on it tomorrow evening. So the link is in my bio. It's at 8 p.m. for 30 minutes on Zoom. I hope to see you.